Thought I would give you guys an updated look at my games rooms. We'll start here in the living room. This is my more modern console setup. You can see my shelf on the right there with Switch, Xbox, PS4, PS5 games. And my aging PC right there, the Series X. And the console rack. We've got the launch PS3 60 gig backwards compatible model. Got this little PS2 PS1 memory card adapter, which is kind of rare now, so I can transfer saves over. And then the newest addition is the Mega SG Genesis FPGA hardware clone. And behind that is my PlayStation Vita TV, which is jailbroken, very useful that way. And the big ugly reverse Oreo PS5, which the main reason I bought it was to enhance my existing PS4 collection. There's a lot of games that run with uncapped frame rates, so I have a huge collection, so it's nice to run a lot of those at 60. And then we got the Super NT FPGA SNES clone. We got the Nintendo Switch, which I have to put sideways now so I have more space. Got the Wii U, which really I don't use much other than to play regular Wii games. There's one of my Logitech Z5500 speakers, the center channel. And then my Xbox 360 Slim, the first Slim model, which I think is a bit more desirable. But yeah, then we just got the speaker controller. We got the snowman still sitting there from Christmas. And the Wii U tablet on its charger. But yeah, here's my shelf of games. I guess I'll just let you see a little bit of this. So yeah, now I'll show you some of the other shelves in here. So I've got two shelves on the side of my futon with more game overflow from PS4, PS3, as you can see, a lot of different stuff. And yes, it's very dusty on the bottom there. All right, next shelf. Again, kind of the same deal. And as you can see, I put my rear 5.1 speakers on these shelves. Makes for a good stand. And we've got, again, PS4 and then Xbox 360 games. These are mostly the ones that are enhanced or backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X. So there was a lot of games on Xbox 360 that I wanted to play in 4K. There's my very tiny Wii U collection. But yeah, stuff like Ninja Gaiden 2 here. It's pretty awesome to play at 4K. You know, Red Dead Redemption, the original, you can play that 4K. Grand Theft Auto 4 runs 60 FPS. You know, you got the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, which isn't that great, but it runs 4K, which is pretty cool. So yeah, now we'll switch over to my retro stuff. That's a bit more exciting. Alright guys, now we got the infamous backdrop that triggered a lot of people. This is my retro game room, retro game library specifically. You can see the two main shelves there housing the majority of the classic collection. And then we have just this smaller rotating one, which I don't like that much. I'd like to get rid of that. Maybe replace it with another black one. But, alright, we'll just go through this shelf a little bit, just so you can see. Got my Xbox 360 games on here. Majority of my collection here. And then it continues on this side, which I know a certain someone that will appreciate seeing all this. And then it starts with my PS3 games as well. And on this side, we've got some PS2 and Xbox overflow, more PS3, and then my PC kind of DVD sized cases. Some of them are oversized, obviously. A lot of classic stuff, more PS2 stuff on the bottom there. And then, if we can, I'll try to rotate this thing. It's tough to do though. This thing is so heavy. This is why I'd rather have just, fuck it, I'll just slide it. That's why I'd rather have just a long one. So we've got my DVDs. I liked Jackie Chan for a while till I found out he was a commie, but his movies are still entertaining. Some music DVDs, some gaming related bonus DVDs, and my very small Blu-ray collection. I don't collect a lot of movies, but there's a couple, as you can see here, that I wanted to have on Blu-ray. So yeah, we'll get to this shelf in just a second, but I'll also show you this closet, which is housing a lot of my game, like accessory boxes, some overflow type stuff. Mostly, you know, my game console boxes, as you can see. You can see my Xbox original up there. Got a PS1 Slim box right there, the Wii. Xbox 360 behind there. I've got a Xbox 360 Elite right there. That doesn't work. Might be able to be fixed. Got a GameCube box, PSP, various controller boxes. Obviously my PS5 and Series X box, which luckily my PS5 box didn't get damaged. They're really cheaply made. Then I've got my analog Mega SG and Super NT boxes, which are pretty slick looking, not gonna lie. All right, so I guess we'll go through the main shelf as quick as possible, and we'll get you a look at the infamous soy shelf you like right there. So just some collectible type stuff. You can see here. Now, the misconception is that I am obsessed with collecting amiibos, but really I only have a small handful. And the ones I got was mainly stuff from my favorite series or stuff that had a function that I really wanted to use. You know, this Mother 3 one is just because the Mother series is awesome. I wanted to have some sort of collectible for Mother. These Mario ones I just got on sale. I didn't really care much to have them, but they were so cheap, I said, why not? And these ones I specifically got to kind of have the shortcut to the extras in Star Fox Zero, which I think isn't that bad of a game. And people think, oh, I don't even open them. No, they're open on the bottom here. And I took the little strip out of them that blocks the NFC reader. So I can just pop those on the controller and use them and keep them nice and neat. So cringe, bro. I like to keep my stuff in good condition. Really cringe. All right, we'll start on this shelf first, since it I try to go in generational order as much as possible, but obviously size limitations of the boxes makes me mix and match stuff up. But as you can see, I got NES, got some Game Boy and Virtual Boy stuff, all loose stuff for the Game Boy there. Got my Super Nintendo boxes. Got my Sega Genesis in-box collection. Not a lot, but I got some of the choice games on the system that's kind of known for. And a couple loose games right there. Next one, we've got our Sega CD. And then my Sega Saturn US long box collection, which I'm very proud of. I made sure to collect those early on. Tried to get as many as possible within my limited budget at the time. And now it's stupidly expensive. And you can see I got the jewel-cased Japanese games at the top there as well. So next up, we've got the Sega Dreamcast. These are all jewel case, obviously. I don't think there was a lot of big box ones. Like, they were all that short, pretty much. And we've got another one I'm pretty proud of, my Complete in Box 3DO collection. Very goofy, tall cardboard boxes that are hard to keep in good shape, but I managed to collect a decent amount. And this one is kind of crazy, my PS1 jewel case collection. It's just a massive amount of games here, as you can see. It would take forever for me to show you all of them up close, so we'll just give you a nice sweeping view here. And you can see those big box Lunar 1 and 2s. Very cool. And then I guess down here we've got some more PC big box games, which are cool to have. I don't have a lot, but I'm glad I have Quake 1 for sure, and Jedi Knight, one of my favorite games. And we've got PS1 long box, which are pretty interesting. They were kind of doing the Sega Saturn kind of style back then and Sega CD type boxes. And we've got my N64 in box. We've got some handheld consoles on this shelf. So I'm pretty proud of my N64 box collection. I just wish I had more. I sold a bunch of my N64 boxes back in the day like a stupid kid. We've got some in-box Atari Jaguar, my MSX2 Metal Gear 1, which was donated me by Ginger Jules. And yeah, we've got a couple more Genesis and some 3DO jewel case games, including the worst version of Doom 1 right there next to Gex on 3DO. All right, so that's that. Let's do this shelf as well. As you can see, I've got a big Xbox original collection, which is very cool to collect for because it's pretty cheap. At least it was a couple of years ago. I don't know about now, but it's pretty much complete for my tastes anyways. And then, yeah. A lot of cool games like Ninja Gaiden Black, that's backwards compatible and runs 4K on the Series X. And then my GameCube collection starts there and continues down below. So I've got a decent amount of GameCube games, even though there's not a ton of games on that system. I've got a fairly decent Wii collection of all the well-known games. There's a couple more I still want, but there you go. And we've got the end of my Wii, my Game Boy Advance, then going into DS, got a single Game Boy game there, Operation C. Got 2 Virtual Boy games, Vertical Force and Wario Land. Yeah, then my DS games. And then we'll try to get through this last shelf because I'm running out of time here. We got my 3DS games. As you can see, my PSP. Decent amount of those. More PSP, PSP console, some UMD movies. My Vita collection. And my NES and SNES loose cards. Finally, another DVD shelf here. So we'll switch over to the other room and show you the rest of the collection. All right, one last room to show off, and this is the actual retro playroom. So let's get a quick look at that. As you can see, I've got it all set up there with a couple shelves to the side of it. Just got a lazy boy and an end table there with a lamp. Then I've got a collector's edition type shelf. We'll go through this first. So you can see I kind of changed this out depending if I get some new collector's edition stuff just to have it on display. It's very therapeutic to stare at this some days. And then we've got some more collector's editions and various merchandise. And then this is my strategy guide shelf, but it's also become a PS4 game overflow type area, as you can see. Way too many PS4 games, like I said. And then that shelf is just like Game Pro magazines. There's a couple Nintendo Powers in there. Game Informer magazines are in there. So, yeah. And then just, I guess my grandma had those fans and my grandpa had those cars. So, just some of my family heirlooms, I guess, even though it's like Chinese fans. But all right, let's show the actual main attraction here. Let's go over to this side of it. So yeah, you got this top area just loaded with consoles. I got the NES, the SNES, the JVC XI, which is the Genesis Sega CD combo system. Got the 3DO FZ10 model, which is the flip top one. And here's the controller for it. Then we've got my jailbroken Wii, which is very handy to have. These really nice Bose speakers surround the Virtual Boy here. Very bassy, despite not having a subwoofer. I guess it's a built-in subwoofer. And then we've just got this Sanyo 26 or 27-inch TV. As you can see, I've got multiple switch boxes daisy-chained using S-Video for the best CRT quality in the US that you can get. Well, apart from component, I guess. Some TVs are CRT with component, but yeah, these are daisy chained together so I can just switch between them, and there's another automatic switch box behind the TV. So that's pretty handy. Let's go ahead and open this up so we can see the rest. And yeah, we've got the Xbox original there, which I still haven't jailbroken. I've got the USB cable thing or whatever to jailbreak it. I just haven't really had a reason to yet. All right, and then we've got my GameCube, my Dreamcast, and my PS2 Slim model. I think this is the first Slim model, I want to say. There's one with more of a curve on it, I believe, but you can see my GunCon 2 tucked in there. Little Dreamcast VMU. And then got my Sega Saturn. Very dark in there, I know. Got my Pro Action Replay, which is turned into a homebrew type card. I forget what it's called. Pseudo Saturn. Yeah, that's the one. I've got a Model 2 Saturn controller hooked up now, but I do have a Model 1 controller and the 3D controller. And I've got an Atari Jaguar with Zool 2 cartridge in. I don't have the 6-button Jaguar pad, unfortunately, but I do have a second pad, which is cool to have. And then we got my N64. It does have an official red expansion pack inside. Used to have like a blue third-party one, but it broke, so I had to finally get an official one. This is a cool rumble pack because it doesn't need any batteries. It also functions as a memory card as well, which you can see there. It says memory or rumble switch. Pretty cool. And yeah, I've got my PS1, it's just called the PS1, as in the word one. It's the slim model. And then I've got a fat PS2 there, which is kind of hard to see, but I have the hard drive in there and a memory card that lets you boot games off the hard drive. So very cool. Yeah, that's all the retro consoles on this entertainment center. They can all be played at once, by the way. The only ones I have to manually switch are the two composite ones in the front here. It's just the NES and the JVC XI that use composite only. But yeah, then we got these two shelves with Chuck Norris guarding this one. But yeah, oh wait, let's go over here first. This is in alphabetical order. So on this one we got the Dragon Quest Slime, but it's the PS2 controller. As you can see, the Hori brand. And then these go in alphabetical order. This is all PS2 on this shelf because I have a lot of PS2 games, so I dedicated both these side shelves to PS2 games. So we'll give you a quick look at all these. And then I found this at Goodwill, a PS1 branded kind of carrying vault thing. You can see I got a lot of just random PS1 games in here. I think that's a second copy of Oddworld I have there. Found a lot of these games for like $3 at Goodwill years ago when they still had a good selection of games. Yeah, you can see I got a lot of... These are also extra copies. I have 2 copies of Symphony of the Night, 2 copies of that, 2 copies of that, 2 copies of Silent Hill, 2 copies of Siphon Filter, Soviet Strikes. So yeah, it's just kind of overflow with some doubles. Down there is just a mess of controllers and accessories. I won't bother with that. And then the PS2 continues alphabetically up here. I'm very proud of my PS2 collection. I've got nearly everything I wanted on the system, apart from the really rare stuff like Rule of Rose. It's just ridiculous. Like, that game's like 1,000 or 2,000 at this point. It might be more. I don't even know. Some more. Some more. And the end. But we also have another of the similar style vault. And this is for N64, so very cool. Kind of take me a while to pop all these out, but I'll just pull out some random ones. Got Duke Nukem 64. Perfect Dark. I have this in box as well, so that's a second copy. Ooh, Quake 64. And then we've, of course, got the N64 Quake 2, which is an interesting, like, it's the Quake 1 engine with Quake 2 assets in it. Very bizarre. This I wish I had complete in the box. I used to as a kid, but I stupidly sold it trying to buy a Dreamcast game. Shenmue 1, specifically. Rogue Squadron, I wish I had this complete as well. Obviously, the Majora's Mask Gold Cart. Not the hologram one, though. I got all the Turok games, including Turok 3. So yeah, I could just keep going, but that should be it for this video. Just wanted to give you kind of an updated look at the collection. It hasn't changed a whole lot, but there's been some additions over the years that I haven't shown. Yes, and I cannot forget this last closet, which is loaded with Tupperwares full of collector's editions, more modern collector's editions, Xbox 360 and PS4 generation stuff. A lot of posters rolled up in there, and just tons of collector's editions up here. You can see BioShock 2 Infinite, which is really paused. Grand Theft Auto 5. 2 Tales of Exilia collector's edition. 1 is sealed. Tales of Exilia 2. Watch Dogs, which wasn't that good. And then it's kind of hard to see, but we've got the Final Fantasy 15 Ultimate, Max Payne 3, the Doom 2016 Collector's Edition on PS4, Assassin's Creed 4 PS4 Collector's Edition, which is a good game still. It's one of the few actual good ones. That's Ass Creed 3 Collector's Edition, which is not a good game. Alright, so that's that for the closet. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next video. Alright, peace.